Your girl is back, and it's a very special occasion.
Hi!
Who's doing that? I'm not doing that. I don't know any female that would do that. That's not a bull rider. Why would you do that? Hello everyone, your girl is back, and it's a very special occasion. It's Leo season and your girl just turned 24. So happy birthday to me. But welcome back to my channel. Welcome back for another episode. This one's gonna be kind of long. But I do have timestamps that you can hit so you can fast forward through it so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But watch the whole thing because it's all interesting and it's fun and it's cool to learn about new things that you don't know about. So I got my strawberry milk tea, I got my notes, I got my PowerPoint, and we are ready to go, okay? So today's episode is going to be, what does my birthday say about me? I thought it would be interesting if I did an episode that was dedicated to birthdays specifically and like researching what everyone's birthday means about them. So, first thing we're going to touch on is what birthdays define. Each birthday that we have defines our birthstone, our birth flowers or flower. Some people have more than one. And our zodiac sign. So we're going to talk about all three of those. As far as birthstones go, in about the 5th century, Christian scholars used the 12 gems of the Breastplate of Aaron to establish a connection between the 12 months of the year. Each gem connected to a certain month or astrological alignment. The individuals who wore the specific stones were said to have gotten therapeutic benefits from them, and to receive the full benefits from each stone's power, people would often wear it in accordance to the month that it was based upon. And then, as time went on, people decided to wear them based off the month they were born in, if that one corresponded. So, if I was born in July, I would wear the July birthstone to enhance the power of the stone. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then in 1912, the stones were officially determined after lots of disagreement between which stones represent each month. And those are the stones I'm going to talk about specifically today, are the like official birthstones. And then just more about the breastplate of Aaron. It was described in the Bible within Exodus as a garment worn by the high priest of the Israelites that helped communicate with God. So the stones were said to have the power to communicate between the human world and to God. It was a sacred object, and the most detailed description can be found in the King James Version of Exodus. Moving on to birth flowers. So birth flowers are said to have originated in Roman times when altars were decorated with flowers just to celebrate birthdays as a whole. Lady Mary Wortley Montagu introduced the symbolic meaning of flowers in the early 18th century, but it took about 100 years for it to catch on or so. The language of flowers became popular during Victorian eras when lovers began to send flowers to convey hidden messages without breaking strict rules of affection. Which is kind of interesting because like today it's like you expect your man to give you flowers, but back then it was like it was frowned upon if you showed affection like publicly to people. Which is stupid because who doesn't want to be given flowers or told that they love you or whatever, but I'm single so I couldn't tell you anything, so we're just gonna keep going. So if you guys don't want to watch the whole video, here's my timestamps, so just speed ahead to whichever one you want to go to, and we'll talk about the flowers and the stones for each month and knock that thing out. But I do want to say that everything in this video, as a disclosure for everything in this video right now, so I can get it out of the way before I get in trouble or someone attacks me. This is all for fun. I I do have sources linked in the description if you want to read more or check out what people said or like the sources I read upon. Yeah. It's all for fun. It's not scholarly. Like, I'm never going to publish anything that's like a work on this, because why would I do that? I'm not a professional. I'm literally just someone who enjoys learning new things, and I love astrology, and I love stones, and I love flowers, so why not make this video? Because I would like it. So yeah, that's my disclosure. So go ahead and hit these timestamps if you want. If not, just keep on watching and we'll get this thing started with January. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting with January. January's birthstone is the garnet. If I say anything incorrectly, please disregard me. The meaning of the garnet is protection. The color is a dark red. Birth flowers are carnation and snowdrop. Carnation means admiration and love, and snowdrop means hope and rebirth. The carnation's on the left and the snowdrop's on the right. Most of the flowers I'll have in this video, the first one named will always be on the left and the second one will always be on the right. So the history of the garnet comes from the Latin word granatus, which means seed-like. It was a reference to the pomegranate seed based on its color and its shape, and that's, I kind of see it. I mean, yeah, sure, but that's January. And then February, the birthstone is amethyst, meaning wisdom. The color was a violet. Birth flowers are the violet, which means modesty and faithfulness, and the primrose is the second one, which means young love. In Egyptian jewelry, the amethyst was very popular, and it still is today. The word amethyst comes from the Greek word amethystos, meaning not drunken. And there's kind of a really cool story behind it. It goes all the way back to like ancient Greek times and ancient Greek legends, which I am a fan of learning about. So the reference is from the god of wine and drunken revelry. His name was Dionysus. He became angry with mortals after being insulted by his own hospitality. He vowed to punish the next human he came across, and her name was Amethystos, who was actually on her way to pray to the god Artemis. She cried out to Artemis to save her, so for some reason, instead of just helping her, he thought the best way to do that was to turn her into a stone. For what? I don't know, because that doesn't really help her. She just can't be alive at that point. So like, if it was me, I would just have to take my chance fighting Dionysus. Like, I have to fight a god, because like, at least I got a shot. I'm giving myself a chance to, you know, like, save myself or accomplish something, like plead for like help, or like plead to like not die, or like ask to be his side piece but if he doesn't kill me. I don't know, something. But he turns her into a stone. And what happens is Dionysus ends up being like moved by the innocence of the statue and the beauty of it. So he takes his wine and pours it over her, which dyes the stone like this violety shade, thus amethyst being like a deep purple. So that's that. Next we're going into March. Birthstone of March is aquamarine, means serenity. The color is cyan or blue. Birth flowers are the daffodil. Well, they only have one. Sorry, March people. The daffodil, meaning new beginnings and prosperity. Aquamarines are said to have a calming purpose. So sailors used to bring them along with them whenever they traveled around the ocean and at sea, and they would sleep with them under their pillows so they would get a good night's sleep. And to ward off any poison from bad food, they would keep one in their pocket whenever they ate meals. So I guess that's kind of cool. I wonder if it works. I'm not gonna try it because I don't want to get sick. Moving on, next we're gonna hit April. So the birthstone for April is the quartz, but some people say it's the diamond. I did research and I got more quartz than diamond, so yeah. A quartz is like a cheap diamond, but it's also a really beautiful rock if you ever mine it. I actually got the mine quartz. When I was in elementary school, we used to go to like a mining place, and I would always like try to find one because they were so beautiful to me. The color of quartz are clear. Sometimes they have like a pinkish hue to them, which is cool. The birth flower of April is the daisy, which means purity and innocence, and the sweet pea, which means blissful pleasure. Usually the quartz are typically formed in geodes, which are like hollow masses of quartz filling in gas bubbles inside volcanic rock whenever they cool. And quartz have this really cool phenomenon called twinning, where if they share a point of contact with the symmetrical crystal lattice, which if you can see in the top right picture, how they all are touching on the bottom, they all look similar as they are coming up. Like they have a similar distinct shape instead of being irregular. But that's called twinning, which I think is pretty cool. Like, it's like rocks kind of reproducing, but not reproducing. If you know what I mean. Sorry if that got weird. Next, May. Birthstone for May is the emerald. Its meaning is hope. Its color is a dark green. Birth flowers of May are the lily of valley, which means sweetness and motherhood, and the hawthorn, which means hope. I think it's really interesting how most of the things I've showed you, like it's been like it's all been like a similar color palette, but with May, the rocks are green and the flowers are white. I think that's really interesting. Emeralds are named after the vulgar Latin words esmeralda and esmeraldus, which roughly translate to green gem, which is pretty self-explanatory. Next, June. I think June has the coolest birthstone because it's so like weird. It's called the alexandrite, which means love, and the color varies under different lighting sources. So under natural like daylight, it will be a bluish color, and under like a light bulb's light, it would be like a reddish color. That's cool, right? I think that's cool. Birth flowers are the rose, which means romance, and the honeysuckle, which symbolizes happiness. July. Birthstone is the ruby, meaning vitality, and the color is red. Birth flowers are the larkspur, which means positivity and dignity, and the water lily, which means purity. Ruby's dark red color is similar to the color of blood and has used its own association with vitality and physical strength. Because of this, in ancient times, like if you see like old movies, not like old, like made old, but like if you see movies that like take place during like mythological times or during Roman times, they typically have gold glasses with rubies, like gold cups with rubies inside of them, because they were usually use them to make toast to one's health or like one's vitality. So that's kind of that's kind of the symbolism between the two. Yeah. Next, we're going to the best month, August. It's my birth month. August birthstone is the Peridot, meaning beauty. The color is olive green, but I usually describe it as lime green. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And cool thing about the Peridot is that ancient records state that the Egyptians mined the Peridots in the Red Sea on an island, but it was lost until about 1900. The Egyptians used the stone commonly in their culture because no matter what the lighting of wherever the person wearing the stone was from, like in, if they were inside or outside, or if it was darker or not dark, you could always see the glow, the greenish glow of the stone. It never changed color and it never faded. And yeah, that's like a picture in the top right corner of like some Egyptian jewelry with peridots in it. Birth flowers of August are the gladys, which symbolize strength of character, and the poppy, which symbolize imagination. Hit in September, birthstone is the Lapis Lazuli. Lapis Lazuli. That could be wrong. I don't know. I feel like it's Lazuli because blue in Spanish is azul. So maybe. I don't know. We don't know. Somebody please let me know, because I couldn't tell you. The meaning is truth, and the color is a deep blue. Birth flowers are the aster, which means love and affection, and the morning glory, which means unrequited love and mortality. The lapis lazuli is one of the oldest mined stones recorded to this day. Recorded to be mined in 4000 BC and was a common trade amongst Egyptians. When Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, he began to import Lapis Lazuli, and Europeans began grinding it up and using it as a paint pigment called ultramarine. So yeah. Next we're going to hit October. October has literally one of my favorite stones as their birthstone. So their birthstone is opal. It means healing, and the color is typically a multicolor with pink and green tones under different sunlight. I actually have an opal. I don't know where it is. I think I lost it, but it's somewhere in my room. I don't know. It's somewhere here. Birth flowers is the marigold, which means creativity and passion, and the cosmos, which means peace and tranquility. I ain't even gonna lie, the marigold, that flower is cute. Like, I would enjoy that flower. Like, I would probably get that flower every fall, like, just from my house, if I could find it. And in ancient Rome, opals were known as the opalus. Opalus, translating to precious stone. Opals are considered to be bad luck if you wear it or buy it if you're not born in October. So oftentimes in history, when the stones were lost or stolen from them, lost, stolen, or if they broke, people would like blame it on a superstition of, I don't live in October, that's why it broke, or that's why it got stolen, or that's why it whatever. But honestly, they're just fragile rocks. That's why they're called precious stones. So they break pretty easily. November. Birthstone is citrine, yes, meaning joy. The color is a dark yellow. The birth flower is the chrysanthemum, which means loyalty and honesty. Because why? Why is a flower called a narcissus? Maybe a narcissist. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but I don't know. Narcissus? It looks like narcissus without the T. I don't know. But that means hope and wealth. And the holly, which is a very common flower associated with Christmas time and winter, which means protection and defense. In Turkish traditions, turquoises would be given to other people as gifts to help you make friends easily. In this tradition, it would only work or work well if you already had been given a turquoise before you try to give one. So, yeah. Next, we're going to be talking about these zodiac signs and everything that goes along with that. I'm excited! I actually have some notes. Before I started doing my research and everything, I didn't know how I wanted to do this section, but I actually found out that there are 4 types of astrology. There's Western, which is what I'm talking about today. There's Chinese zodiac, which are based on the years you're born. Like I'm an ox because I'm born in 1997. And then the Mayan Astrology, which is based on Mayan calendars. And basically they align you with universal energy. I don't know much about that, but I'm sure someone does. If you want to tell me about it or drop me a link on it, you can just knock it down there in the comments, and I would love to read it and learn more because that's who I am. Vedic, which is like the Hindu or Indian astrology. So, not Native American to any other country because, yeah. Okay, so we're going to break this thing down into 4 quadrants between the 4 elements of zodiacs, which are fire, earth, air, and water. Fire signs include the Aries, the Leo, and the Sagittarius. Fire signs tend to be passionate, dynamic, and temporal. They get angry easily, are physically strong, and are a source of inspiration to other people. Fire signs are intelligent, self-aware, creative, idealistic, and ready for action. Next is the earth sign. We got the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. They're grounded, most conservative, and realistic, but they can be emotional. Practical, loyal, stable, and stick by people through hard times. Next is the air signs, which include the Aquarius, the Gemini, and the Libra. They're rational, social, love communication and relationships with others, thinkers, friendly, intellectual, and analytical, love philosophical discussions, social gatherings, and giving advice, but can be a bit superficial. And last but not least is the water signs, which include Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. They're highly intuitive and can be seen as very mysterious. I also read they're like as mysterious as the ocean, which is cool because they're water signs. Love profound conversations and intimacy, and are exceptionally emotional. I can agree with that because my mother's a Scorpio and my father's a Pisces, and what a childhood that was. We're gonna keep going though. And if you want to skip ahead, these are all my timestamps, or if you want to pass by everything, because This area is a little bit longer than the rocks and the flowers just because there's more history behind everything. So if you want to tap through, feel free. There's going to be links in the description if you want to know more. And if you think I'm wrong or you disagree, oh, there's thunder. If you think I'm wrong or you disagree or yada yada yada, remember this is just for fun. I'm just doing this because I like doing things like this. But if there's like a cool link or like a cool book or any other area of knowledge that you think I would be interested in, please drop it. I would love to see it. If the dates look wrong or are wrong or you think they might be wrong, that's just what like I gathered from website data. So yeah, don't judge that part too much. Yeah. Okay, starting with the Aquarius, dates go from January 20th to February 18th. Colors associated are light blue or silver. The ruling planets are Uranus and Saturn. The symbol is the water carrier. The strengths of the Aquarius are progressive, original, humanitarian, and independence. Weaknesses include stubborn, rebellious, sarcastic, and unconventional. Which I don't really think unconventional is a bad thing, because like you think outside of the box, you try new things, you challenge the world. I think that's honestly not a weakness, but whatever. In Greek mythology, a boy named Ganymede or Aquarius was chosen by Zeus to be the cupbearer of the Greek gods, thus the symbol of the water carrier or pouring out of the pitcher. Next is the Pisces. Dates are February 19th through March 20th. Colors associated are various shades of purples and sea green. Ruling planets are Neptune and Jupiter. Symbol is the fish. Strengths are compassionate, gentle, wise, and intuitive. Weaknesses include desire to escape reality, over-trusting, and fearful or paranoid. I didn't see one lie. Anyways, in Greek mythology, the two fish symbolize the escape of Aphrodite and her son Eros from Typhon. The two fish are also seen as the saint and the center of the zodiac signs by having two sides to them. Pisces is also the last zodiac sign, and it's said that they make up small bits and pieces of every sign, which is interesting. Next is the Aries. Dates include March 21st through April 19th. Colors associated are red. The ruler is Mars. Symbol is the ram. Strengths are courageous, determined, confident, and passionate. Weaknesses are impatient, moody, short-tempered, and impulsive. In Greek mythology, the ram Chrysomalis that carried Pherecydes and Helle, the children of the Boeotian king Athamas. This was the ram that people often refer to today as the ram with golden fleece. So, yeah. I butchered that, but it's fine. Next. Taurus. Taurus dates are April 20th through May 20th. Colors associated are green and pink. Ruling planet is Venus. The symbol is the bull. Strengths are reliable, practical, patient, and devoted. Weaknesses include possessive, uncompromising, and stubborn. Those also are pretty spot on. I know a few Tauruses, so don't attack me. I've experienced evidence. Greek mythology behind it states that Zeus turned into a bull to carry off the king of Crete's daughter Europa. She was very sought after because of her beauty, and Zeus needed a strategy to claim her for his own. While Europa and her father were in a field, Zeus transformed himself into a white bull with beautiful horns that had gemstones on them, and acted tame whenever he approached her so that she would trust him. So then she jumped on his back, because who wants to jump on the back of a bull when they first come across it? Who is doing that? I'm not doing that. I don't know any female that would do that. That's not a bull rider. Why would you do that? But she jumped on the back of this bull, and he decided to sprint off and jump into the water and swim across it to flee away from her father. And then he ended up declaring his love to her and basically was like, marry me. And she was like, okay. And then he knocked her up and she gave him 2 sons, yada yada yada. And after she died, he ended up turning her into a star and making her a constellation of the Taurus, a bull. Gemini. Dates run from May 21st to June 20th. Colors associated are light green and yellow. The ruling planet is Mercury, and the symbol is the twin brothers. Strengths include gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, high ability to learn fast, and exchange ideas. Weaknesses are nervous, inconsistent, and indecisive. In Greek mythology, the twin half-brothers Castor and Pollux were protectors of the sailors and ships. The two twins seek new knowledge along with experiences and were multifaceted beings who prefer being the jack-of-all-trades mentality. Zeus asked Pollux to share his immortality with his twin to keep them together, so they were transformed into the constellation of the Gemini. That's kind of why they look like two stick people. Do you see it? Yeah. Next is the Cancer. Cancer dates run from June 21st to July 22nd. Color associated is white. The ruling planet is the moon. The symbol is the crab. Strengths are tenacious, highly imaginative, sympathetic, and persuasive. Weaknesses is moody, pessimistic, suspicious, and manipulative. I've definitely had a Cancer try to manipulate me before. That's all I'm going to say about that, though. In Greek mythology, the symbolism of the crab was because Hera sent the crab to fight and defeat Hercules while she was losing her battle with Hydra. He ended up squashing it under his foot, LOL, and Hera took the remains of the crab, threw them into the sky, and made them form the Cancer constellation. Poor crab. Next, we have the Leo, gang gang. Dates are July 23rd to August 22nd. Colors associated are gold, yellow, and orange, which are all warm colors of the sun. Ruling planet is the sun. The symbol is a lion. Strengths are creative, passionate, generous, warm-hearted, and cheerful. Weaknesses are arrogant, stubborn, self-centered, lazy, and inflexible. I'm going to correct that. So, the only thing that I would say that I am 100% and completely is stubborn. I don't like changing. When I'm set on something, I don't like altering it. I don't like listening to other people's opinion about it. You can tell me, but I don't care. That's just how that is. I used to be a little self-centered, but I've never been lazy in my life. I'm very hardworking. In Greek mythology, the Leo is a representation of the Nemean lion that Hercules killed. The lion couldn't be killed by mortals because its fur was nearly indestructible, and its claws were sharper than mortal swords and could cut through armor. Honestly, Nemean sound like a bad bitch to me, okay? Next is the Virgo. Dates run from August 23rd to September 22nd. Colors associated are gray, beige, and pale yellow. Ruling planet is Mercury, and the symbol is the Virgin. Strengths include loyal, analytical, kind, hardworking, and practical. Weaknesses are shyness, very critical of self and others, and are all work and no play. I'm not going to disagree with this weakness. Maybe shyness. I've never met a shy Virgo in my entire life. But very critical of self and others is a big thing I've noticed. And most of my friends, well, I can't even say most of them, but some of my friends that are Virgos, they do work a lot and put everything into their work. Next is the Libra. Dates run from September 23rd to October 22nd. Colors associated are pink and green. Ruling planet is Venus. The symbol is the scale. Strengths are cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded, and social. Weaknesses are indecisive, avoiding confrontation, and will hold a grudge. Will hold a grudge, I kind of disagree with that. I haven't met any Libras that are like that. But they do be indecisive and avoid confrontations. They be wanting to communicate, but not face confrontation to communicate out of. That's just the ones I've met. Don't attack me. Libra is the Latin word for scales. According to Greek mythology, the scales are based on the scale held by Themis, which is the lady in that picture on the right. She was the Greek personification of divine law and custom. The scale was said to be made of scorpion's claws, chopped by the Romans, and they were sacred to the sun. Scorpio. Dates run from October 23rd to November 21st. Colors associated are scarlet, red, and rust, which is interesting because it's a water sign, so why are all the colors warm? That's why Scorpios are so interesting. They're very interesting to me. Ruling planets are Pluto and Mars. Symbol is the scorpion. Strengths are resourceful, powerful, brave, passionate, and a true friend. Weaknesses include distrusting, jealous, manipulative, and violent. Also did not hear a lie. Next, according to Greek mythology, Gaia, the mother goddess who presided over the earth, sent a scorpion to kill Orion, who was a giant hunter. When observing the constellations in the sky at night, completely on the opposite side of Orion is the Scorpio constellation. So, far from each other. Next, Sagittarius. Dates run from November 22nd to December 21st. Color associated is blue, and the ruling planet is Jupiter. The symbol for Sag is the archer. Strengths include generous, idealistic, great sense of humor. Weaknesses are impatient, unemotional, and hot-headed. Also see no lies in the weaknesses because I have a friend. And boy is she hot-headed. Love her very much though. But she is very funny, so sense of humor is, yeah. In Greek mythology, the half-man, half-horse Chiron, who is a centaur. And they were learned healers who have a higher intelligence to create a bridge between heaven and earth. Wow, this thunder. There's a storm outside. So, yeah, there's that. And last but not least, we have the Capricorn. Dates run from December 22nd through January 19th. Colors associated are brown and black. The ruling planet is Saturn, and the symbol is the goat. Strengths include responsible, disciplined, self-control, and good manners. Weaknesses are unforgiving, condescending, and expect the worst. Okay, I feel like whoever I pulled this from really does not like caps. I'm sorry to this person because caps are cool. I've met some cool caps. Y'all can calm down. I'm sure there's some great caps out there. So do not be misled by that. In Greek mythology, the Capricorn comes from the constellation Capricornus. It's interesting how in like ancient times they would just have US and they would just get dropped to make it less like mythological. I don't know. But the Capricornus was the horned goat. Apparently, Amalthea, who was a goat nurse for Zeus, she nurtured him until he reached maturity. And when he did, he created his thunder shield from her side and used her horn from her crown in the horn of penalty. She was placed among the stars in the constellation Capra. So, Capra, Capricorn, Capricornus. Yeah, that's how that thing goes. But honestly, this is my deal with all the zodiacs. So I think that we all can act similarly or have character traits based around our zodiacs that make us similar to each other, but I think what makes us truly who we are life experiences, because we can be predestined to be, like, I'm a Leo. I'm a big Leo. I'm a very Leo. And Leos are arrogant, stubborn, self-centered, lazy, inflexible. I used to be real arrogant and self-centered. But I changed. I grew. I learned how to be a good person and accept other people. And I'm not as stubborn as I used to be. I'm still real stubborn just because, yeah, but I'm not as stubborn as I used to be. So we can evolve and we can adapt out of what we're predestined to fit in, what categories predestined to fit in. Which I also understand how risings, if you're like really into horoscopes, if you're like really into horoscopes and zodiac signs, and you know like risings and your moon and everything else, like all your houses that come with it, which I've read into mine and I get why I'm the way that I am, but ultimately at the end of the day what makes us is how we're raised, our life experiences, our life challenges, and our life struggles. And that's why this stuff is cool and it's fun, but don't get too absorbed into it to the point where you kind of lose who you really are. So yeah, that's my take on astrology and stuff. Thanks for coming to watch my birthday video. This is only one of my birthday videos. I just took a trip, so I'll have another vlog for you guys coming soon, next week. Wait on it. From my birthday trip that I took. So please stick around and enjoy it. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, you know, subscribe to your girl. If you ever like want me to do more educational videos such as this one, or if you want to learn something new, please drop it in the comment. I don't know why I keep saying description, but yeah, please drop it in the comments. And if you want to catch more from your girl, me, Kiera, KDTV, feel free to follow me on my TikTok or my Instagram. They're the same name. Hit them up. There's plenty of content on my TikTok, so if you want to watch me dance, watch me style stuff, or watch me paint things, check it out. Yeah, but that's all I got for today. And I will catch you next time on KDTV. And thank you so much for celebrating my birthday with me. Okay, bye. Leave. Ciao, ciao. Get away. Toodles. Bye. Thank you.